God bless you, global Christian friends. God bless the American people, public, and government. John 5:1 says, after this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now, there were at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool, and you can look at uh, that very closely. There's no great history about that pool, but you can look at it, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, which means a house of mercy, having 5 porches. You can see those 5 porches in Nehemiah 12 and 34, those 5 porches. And you need to go there so that you can understand when those porches were built, where they're located. We're not going to go into a great excursion of knowledge about those 5 porches. Verse 3, in these lay a great multitude. Keep that in mind. A great multitude of important folk, a blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water. Best we can identify that, you take a great chunk of that ice and pour it into water. You see begin to fizzle and begin to bubble. That ice that's frozen that you use to keep things cold. And you see that kind of effect that they think that they're talking about here. Verse 4, for an angel went down at a certain season into the pool and troubled the water. And whosoever then first after the troubling of the water, that's that dry ice effect, stepped in was made whole of whatsoever disease he had. Now I'm not saying dry ice healed, but apparently this water had healing properties or medicinal properties. Verse 5, and a certain man was there which had an infirmity 38 years, longer than Jesus' birth. Then when Jesus saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he said unto him, wilt thou be made whole? 5 great words, you understand that. The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool, but while I am coming, another step down before me, horrible, horrible. Jesus said unto him, rise, take up thy bed and walk. Think about those words. You like to think of what Jesus had in mind when he made that statement to this young man at the pool there. Rise, take up thy bed and walk. You had to see that Jesus had the cure and the answer in mind because of the next verse, verse 9. And immediately the man was made whole and took up his bed and walked. And you'll find similar incidents in other parts of scriptures. And on the same day was the Sabbath. Verse 10, the Jews therefore said unto him that was cured, it is the Sabbath. It is not lawful for thee to carry thy bed. He answered, he that made me whole, the same said unto me, take up thy bed and walk. Then asked they him, what man is that which said unto thee, take up thy bed and walk? And he that was healed, wist not which it was. Here he come. For Jesus had conveyed. Jesus had conveyed himself away. Let's not forget that a great multitude was in that place. And you can understand great multitude waiting to be healed and see that someone that they knew that had been there all those years was now immediately made whole. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to try to rush to him the way that they did to make him a king. And he escaped out of their clutches. Here he conveyed. I'm glad this word here is there to be seen, to see how Jesus used his method of transport, conveyance. A multitude been in that place. Afterwards, Jesus found him in the temple, always going into the temple, and said unto him, Behold, thou art made whole, sin no more. Wait a minute. Did he say that? Yes. What does he mean here? He means that you can be made whole and still sin. You can be made whole and still sin out there, preachers, pastors. And you pastors out there ought to pay attention to these teachings, because you need these teachings to teach them to your parishioners, to your people that you love, so that they can understand these things, that you can be made whole and still sin. That's what he's saying here. Behold, thou art made whole, sin no more. Why? Lest the worst thing come unto thee. Now, you need to want to understand something here. This is why when Jesus healed the young man and cast out the adversary, he told him, and enter no more into him. Heal him, cast him out, and say, enter no more into him. Why? Because if he comes back, what do he do? Bring 7 times more than himself. And that last stage of that man is worse than the first stage. All right? So this is why Jesus told the man, lest the worst thing come unto thee. I'm sure you understand this out there across the world. You need to. And the man departed and told the Jew that it was Jesus, which had made him whole. And therefore did the Jews persecute Jesus, like he said in John 15:20. If they persecute me, they'll persecute you. All right? And sought to slay him because he had done these things on the Sabbath day. But Jesus answered them, My Father worketh hitherto, and I work. Therefore they sought the more to kill him, because he not only had broken the Sabbath, but said also that God was his Father. You need to put 8:54 beside that statement, John, anyhow. 8:54. Making himself equal with God. You also need to put 10:36 beside that verse as well, too. Then answered Jesus, said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself but what he sees the Father do. For what things soever he doeth, the Father, these also doeth the Son likewise. Understand that. For the Father loveth the Son, and showeth him all things that himself do. And he will show him greater works than these, that ye may marvel. We'll come back to this point of view. Start here later on. God bless you, Global Christian friends.